Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mulroy Bay, where today we are bailing up field number 11? Yes, 11. And I'm being derpy with the controls, as usual. So, the sound is quite low. Why is this? Because the game bugged. Hooray! Patch 1.3 has that most spectacular bug where the sound just auto sets to, I think it's like 10%, and auto sets to something, and you actually have to pause the game to get the sound to work right. And that just makes so little sense to me. So, since the last episode, which I recorded a couple of days ago, or yesterday, for me, went live today, so already I have a comment on it, and I can actually reply. I already did in the comments, but I will again. Joe Mitchell complained that I bought the wrong front loader for the T6, because I bought the Stahl front loader as opposed to the New Holland one, and basically the reason for that is there is a styre on this map. I'll actually just tab around to show you. Ah, here we go. There's a styre, and I haven't quite decided if I want to use the New Holland or the styre as a front loader tractor. Now the styre is down by the beef, I believe. Which is apparently near the storage point on the map. So I'm just gonna have a quick look around. I might be wrong. But I've been told that there is storage in this general vicinity. It might be over there by field 34 actually. It's just... Can I hop up here? Yeah, I'm guessing it's down there. Oh yeah, hang on. No, okay. I thought for a second that this map actually had a pickup, which I hadn't got to yet. No, it's a static object. Which, by the way, I've noticed the static traffic, the static cars, actually only show up if you got traffic turned on. Which doesn't really make sense to me. I would have thought they'd show up regardless. Oh well. I will most likely come around off camera and clean up the rest of this field and get all of the straw off, because, well, it's always a good idea to make sure you've got enough straw, and all of the straw is always enough straw. So let's just continue on with the baling, which hopefully no more bales will decide to go play with the squirrels, because I do want as many as I can get, and I'm just not going to go searching for the ones that roll off. And yes, those turns are the reason that I use the steering wheel, and pedals actually makes it a lot easier to pick up almost all of the straw. He says he misses large chunks all over the place and decides to drive off at a random angle. As you can hear, my coffee is improving. I am largely over the cold now, and I should be back to normal in a couple of days, which is good. My knee is also improving, which is very good for me, because now I can walk again without... Well, I can mostly walk again without having to worry about excruciating pain in my left knee. Which, yeah, that's never a fun thing. I have no idea what caused it, but it's pretty much solved now. I'm gonna give it a few more weeks before I actually start going on long walks again, though. Just because I do know my knee starts getting sore when I start getting tired, and I don't want to intentionally tire myself out only to find that my knee is sore again. This field is an absolute mess. Don't roll away, Bale. Good Bale. That's going to be fun to go around next time. So I think I can get this with the baler, with the lock, some of it at least. The more I pick up now, the less I'll have to do when it comes to cleaning up afterwards, so that's always a good thing. So as you can see, I didn't actually put soil mod on this map because I don't want to be running two maps of soil mod at the same time. That just strikes me as a bad idea, especially when I'm playing Nuston the way I'm playing Nuston. And for anybody wondering, Nuston will always be coming up after. Well, Nuston will always be a Tuesday and a Thursday, unless, like this week, I decide to do Let's Plays on the weekend, where it'll get the Sunday slot. I'll always put up a Mulroy video before I put up a Nuston video, but I will always do them in pairs. Or at least that's the intention. I'm doing something a bit odd this week. I'm only recording Monday and Tuesday's videos today, which is Saturday, because number one, I woke up ridiculously late. It's, what is it, 5:15 in the evening, and I'm not too long out of bed. I actually still have my cup of coffee set beside me from, I always have a cup of coffee in the morning. Well, it's delicious. For anybody wondering, it is a cappuccino. And it is a Kenko barista style cappuccino, so it is absolutely delicious and slightly sweet, but not very strong. I've come to the conclusion that strong coffee in the morning just makes me hyper-git, and nobody wants me to be hyper, so I go for the medium strength cappuccino over the ridiculously strong coffee I make. And by ridiculously strong, I mean 3 spoons of coffee, 3 teaspoons of coffee go into my coffees. How do I have more? Oh yeah. I was starting to wonder why I had more headlands down at the bottom, then I realised I actually started going up and down the field at the bottom. Then decided to alter my course. Seriously, now is when you fill up. And the bale's just gonna roll down behind me, isn't it? And it's gone. I should be able to retrieve that bale though. Possibly. Well, yes. Now I definitely will. The other bale is actually heading for quite a slope, so it looks like it's actually just gonna roll into the yard. Let's see what happens. It's definitely gonna stop there because that gate is solid. Yeah, it's just gonna lodge itself in the hedge. Wonderful. I should mention the hedges here are not do not have collisions. And I can't be bothered because this map has probably upwards of 20,000 individual hedge pieces. I can't be bothered to go around and put collisions on them all, primarily because I don't have Giant Setter installed at the moment. That was on the hard drive that died. Hooray! Yes, I'm still partially recovering from that hard drive failure. So, yeah, Joe, I didn't mean any offense by, you know, calling you out or anything. Didn't mean for you to get upset or anything. So, if you are upset, I do apologize. It's really just a matter of personal preference what I decide to buy, and honestly, I do prefer having the quote-unquote wrong front loader on the New Hollands. Let's go down here and pick up this section that I actually missed earlier. There we go. Just trying to work out where I want to start going along these. And this kind of makes sense to me, this way. So header down, headers down. There we go. I know what most people call the pickup on a baler pickup. I call it a header just because it is essentially a pickup header. Plus I watch a lot of one Lundy farmer, and he calls the pickups on his balers headers. So it's just, well, he only has one baler. Well, he has two balers. He's got a small baler as well. It's just personal preference. And I was going to do small bales on this map, but tried my test game. Oh good lord. Good lord, the bales. I think I was on 20 before I even got a single headland baled. Which is a bit too, just a bit too much. By quite a distance. I'd literally never get anything done if I small baled this entire field. There we go. So empty the baler. And the header again, because I accidentally lifted it up. I know that it's actually good to lift up the header, or the pickup, or whatever you want to call it, when you are... I've actually done this wrong now, haven't I? Come on, there we go. I'm going to come back later and pick up that area over there. I'm going to start on the uppy downy on the field now. Dang it. There we go. I'm going to do this as properly as I can, so I'm actually going to skip rows. And oh, but this hill is a lot steeper than I thought. If it's slowing the tractor down to 6. actually steep enough that I can rev the engine in reverse and not get anywhere. And I've made a hames of that, so I'm just going to leave that bit skipped. Because I can't reverse over the bale, which is doing its damnedest to escape. And it's escaping! Hurrah! So, as you probably know by now, the mod contest mods were not released on Friday, when I hope they were. So, if they are released today, you'll be seeing the first, and I'm planning on doing multiple mod and map spotlights to go through every individual mod. There are only a few that I want to use that I know of, but I'll go through them all just because I think it's the fairest thing to do, is go through all the mods and give my opinions on them all. And obviously your opinions will differ based on what you see around, what machinery you see a lot, and what brands you prefer. For example, I'm really looking forward to the Mikhail Fusion. I know a lot of people are actually more excited about the Krone baler, and if that's... I will be voting in the mod contest. I won't disclose who I'm voting for until it's over. Don't want to, start some kind of weird campaign where everything I like gets voted for. No. All I'm going to say is I'm going to vote based on... As you know, I test mods. I like to think reasonably well. I check for errors, look at the details, and for example, this Roland baler is nowhere near as good as the in-game balers, but or the Kuhn mod the Giants made themselves. Nowhere near as good as them, but I like it. It would not get my vote against the Kuhn in the mod contest because the texture work isn't as good. The model just isn't as complicated, and the front stand doesn't seem to work properly. I'll show you what I mean by this. It just kind of flips around like that. Yeah, that doesn't look... That's wrong. That's horribly wrong. By the... By the looks of it, it is supposed to flip around, but it's supposed to flip around on an axis that isn't the one it's flipping around on. But yeah, that's... One thing that I do like is the moving PTO. That would be a big plus point. So I'll be voting based on basically the criteria I use in mod spotlights. So yeah. Depending on how many votes you get, I'll probably give a vote to my favorite in each kind of subcategory, I guess. I don't know how the voting system works, but on FSUK there's been a thread about how bad the voting system is, which, to be honest, I have to agree with, because if you're not BM modding or Vertex Design or Stefan Marus or one of the big German modders who have a big following only on Giant's Mod Hub, you're not getting anywhere in that mod contest. And it's a shame, really, because OEB's Real Train mod looks amazing. Simon's Fusion looks really good, but unfortunately, I think it's Vertex are entering the Corona, so which is apparently just better in terms of features. So that's probably gonna get votes based on features and stuff like that. It's. I get the Giants. Well, it's them showing or attempting to show that, hey, we do care about modders and we do care about the modding community, when in fact they don't. If they did, the scripts would have been released far earlier. There would actually be some sort of communication about upcoming patches and changes. The current rumour is there's actually going to be a 1.4 patch for the Gold Edition, because the rumours are, well, it's pretty well known now that there's going to be an Eastern European map in the Gold Edition, and I will be buying it and playing it and screwing around with all the new stuff. But what I've heard is there's going to be new shaders for that map, which means Giants are going to have to patch them in, potentially. Which means there could be a 2.0 patch or 1.4 or whatever they want to call it. Just to support that DLC, which is probably going to be, if I had to guess, $15 to $20 or euro. I know Giants actually prefer to have the main price as euros, so it's probably going to be about the 15 to 20 euro region, much like Titanium in 2013. It'll be the same kind of thing. They'll be introducing new brands like Zetor and Rotzelmash, which I believe are the two of the new brands. I think there's a Tatra truck as well, and probably some other stuff that they haven't shown us yet. But it's very much in the vein of Titanium for 2013. Giants are just repeating themselves with different pictures, essentially, which is a bit of a shame. Also, there's been no more news on the Holmer DLC, which is a bit odd. But what is pretty much known is there's going to be 2 more DLCs for 2015. One of them is going to be the Gold Edition, but there is another placeholder on Steam for a second DLC that, well, I'd presume it's Holmer. But Giants, in their infinite wisdom, are giving out absolutely no details about anything, as per usual, which, to be honest, is half the reason people are leaving Farm Sim. The other half is the community in certain areas and on sites that I refuse to use as a result of these infringements, of which, bye-bye Bale, of which LS 2015 is now a member, by the way, so I won't be doing any more mod spotlights from LS 2015. They'll all be from FSUK or Mod Hoster or the Giants' own mod hub, which is dubious enough in its own ways. But yeah, LS 2015 tends to have quote-unquote pirated mods. Modhub.us, I'm going to say right now, do not use that. I will actively tell you guys not to use it, or any other sites other than pretty much ModHub, American Eagles Modding, and FSUK. They're the 3 that are trustworthy and reliable. So if you see something on FSUK or ModHub or Giants ModHub or American Eagles Modding, get it. If you see something you like. If you don't see it on them, and to be honest, if there's an uploaded.net link, I'd be a bit dubious. Maru's website as well is also trustworthy. However, they use uploaded.net, which is a giant stinking turd of an upload site, because it's one of those sites that, hey, you can download something today, and oh dear, you've already downloaded something in the last like week. Tough luck. That's why a few of my mobs just disappeared after the hard drive failure. They were primarily the uploaded ones. And I didn't want to look for an alternative link because the modder uploaded it to upload it for a reason, and I'm not going to screw around with it. I would prefer to see more, you know, site-hosted mods. Like, ModHub do have their own hosting, and I know I'm talking a bit more than usual, but ModHub do have their own hosting. Giants ModHub, of course, hosts everything they have on there. FSUK hosts, well, about 90% of the mods you'll find on FSUK are hosted on FSUK. Some of them are external links to ModHub, which, as I already said, trustworthy site. If you find something on ModHub, odds are it's legit, not stolen or anything, and there is oversight on ModHub. Mod Hoster, even, not ModHub. Mod Hoster. Modhub.us. No. Mod Hoster, yeah, there's oversight. Giants Mod Hub, there's alleged oversight. I question that at times. There have been rumours, and I'm not going to go into it, but there have been rumours about less than legitimate things going up on Giants Mod Hub. I know some of the stuff entered for the 2013 mod contest was actually taken down because it was stolen content. Somebody downloaded a private mod or something and uploaded it to Giants Mod Hub for the mod contest and tried to win the mod contest as a result, which was a big no-no. As for, I should say, the delay in getting the mods up for this mod contest isn't a bad thing. They, Giants are apparently testing, apparently, and I'm not even going to comment on this. Giants are apparently testing all the mods for functionality, errors, and whether or not they're a virus, etc, etc, etc. So, ideally, and we'll find out what happens when the mods get released, ideally there will be no log errors. Now, that's something I sincerely doubt, but we'll find out when it gets to the competition. I know Real Train and the Fusion will most likely not have log errors unless somebody in Giants went and fiddled with them, which I don't think that would happen, but I guess there's a small chance of somebody in Giants thinking something in there was a virus and trying to get rid of it and screwing up the mod. In which case the entire mod contest is a joke. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to finish baling off camera and figure out if I have a bale spike somewhere. If I do, I'll collect all the bales down the yard in the next episode. If I don't, I'll buy one and collect it and use the styre, because apparently that's the right one to use with the front loader attachment I have. So, I'll do that. Until then, stay safe, and this bale is going to go away now. Just gonna watch it roll away. Until I see you again, stay safe, and goodbye. Can I stop this? No. Bye. Oh, it stopped.